Miss Joan. Thank you for hopping on here with me. And I want to start off by you just kind of telling your background. I want people to understand that, you didn't have $300,000 laying around to go buy cash for a business. You don't come from money just like myself. So just kind of talk on your background a little bit and why you got into this, why you felt it was important for you to get into this, and that, neither one of us truly come from money.
Absolutely. My background is I've been basically an entrepreneur since I was in my early 20s. My family and I were Medicaid contractors for about 8 years, where we provided various types of mental health services. And then when we retired, I just became an independent contractor with one licensed home for 3 beds, and I basically have been doing that for the last 12 years. And so I grew up middle class. My mom was a school teacher. My dad was in computer science at the local historically black college. And I worked my way through college. I've always been a hustler. I've always had at least two jobs. So, I was looking for, at this point, I'm in my 50s. I'm looking for some passive, multiple revenue income streams that don't require me to work a lot.
Right. Absolutely. That's awesome. So exciting. So, whenever you saw this idea about passive income, specifically with car washes and laundromats, why was it so important for you to allot your time and energy into actually getting these passive income, cash flowing businesses in the first place?
Because they were good opportunities and they were obtainable opportunities. You got to put your hustle in initially, but it's starting to level out now. I don't have to go down there as much. I know I've got some good staff. One of them I think I can promote to a manager, so I won't have to go down there no more about three times a month. And so they were the perfect opportunity at the perfect time for me. And so I'm going to reduplicate this. I'm going to find another laundromat and do this again this year. So that's the goal.
Rinse and repeat. Once you learn these strategies and buy your first car wash or laundromat, it's not much different in buying a second or a third or a fourth and building an empire.
It's not. It's not hard. It's not difficult at all. It
It's
won't be
really
difficult
not.
at all.
Yeah.
No.
And
First time, you're learning everything. So everything is new. So
yeah.
you just gotta figure it out. Keep it moving.
Yep.
Not get discouraged, not back down, not back away. You just gotta keep it moving. You gotta put
Exactly.
that
It is
grind in.
all just a numbers game.
It
That's all it
is.
is. Just a
You gotta put
numbers
that
game.
grind. Mm-hmm.
Great answer there. And so whenever you got into this, what were some of those doubts or that self-talk you may have had between your ears that you just kind of shoved to the side, that some other people may also have as well?
Well, I mean, whether or not it will continue to do as well as it does. Now, there's a new laundromat that opened up in that area that I knew was going to open up. There would be competition. So I have to figure out, and I'm continuing to figure out, marketing strategies for that.
Exactly. And I love that too, that you knew another laundromat was moving into the area, but you didn't let that scare you away because so many people live in such a scarcity mindset. They don't
Yeah.
realize that there's an abundance of customers out there. You don't have to go be afraid that you're going to go bankrupt if someone else moves down the block because there's enough customers to go around for your wash and someone else's.
That's my phrase. There's enough out here for everybody. You just gotta find your. You just gotta find yours.
Yeah.
That place has been there since 1997.
Wow.
That
Neat.
laundry has been a staple of that community since 1997, and that's it's not going anywhere.
No, it's definitely not. I love that. I love that you had the abundance mindset instead of a scarcity mindset.
Oh
That's
yeah.
great.
One of the
Um,
things I've learned is that if you're going to move in prosperity, you cannot move in fear
exactly. Amen to that. Faith over fear all day long. That's what it takes.
all day.
Yeah. So what was really like the magnet or the thing that attracted you to me and my program initially?
I just like the way you presented it. You presented it in a manner that was simple, easy to understand. You didn't sugarcoat it like it was just this grand thing or try to make it seem like it was unrealistically obtainable with great benefits. You were down to earth. You were honest about what needed to be done. You explained things with clarity. You didn't make us think it was this easy cakewalk.
Right.
And so many people give you fluff, but they don't give you substance. And you
Yep.
gave us a lot of substance. And so that's what made the difference.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And
Mhm.
that's the thing too. There's so much fluff and stuff online.
Oh my
People know when you're being real or you're not being real. So it pays to be real and honest and transparent every day of the week.
God. Yes, it does. Every time.
It
Every
does.
time. Because people can see the BS. Yeah.
So how far is your laundromat away from where you live?
2 hours and 45 minutes.
Okay, so your plan is probably, if I can assume this correctly, is probably to kind of like you said earlier, hire out most of the work to where you only have to go there once or twice a month, if that. Is that
Yeah. Yeah.
fair assumption?
Exactly right. And everything's falling into place for that.
That's
I've got a loyalty card because this is an all cash business. They still use quarters.
yeah,
So, I've got a loyalty card system coming. I've got new machines coming. I got an electronic door lock, so if I need to open it up myself, I can. And so everything's being designed automatic. So everything's coming in automatic. So even if no one is there, it can still run itself. Just have somebody go in and empty trash, mop the floors, clean the bathroom.
that's the way to do it. That is the
Yeah,
way to do it, right there. Absolutely, automate everything.
automate it all.
Yeah. So, well, what would you tell someone who is kind of like, at the beginning of their journey and they're really doubting themselves or they're doubting if this program would work for them? What would your word of advice be to someone who's in that position right now?
Well, first of all, I need to get the mindset right. You need to know if you're going to do this, then you need to do it. You need to cast down the fear. You need to learn the program, and you need to be willing to get your hands dirty and do the work. You need to be prepared to put some skin in the game. You need to be prepared for this is a long-term commitment, and you just need to show up and do what you need to do. Because you failure is not an option. And if you do, so what? You can always create another opportunity. They come and go all the time. It's
It
not
sure
the
is.
end all if it doesn't work. You just pick something else and keep on going.
Exactly. Exactly. I love what you said there. If you put in the work and you commit to this, I mean, your success is inevitable so long as you don't give up.
It's exactly right.
Period.
It's inevitable. It's
Yeah.
inevitable.
Yeah. So what specifically, if you could pick one thing above all, did you like about working with me?
That you were consistent, that you held me accountable, and that you worked with me until I got through the entire process. Your team was right there, reviewing the deals, providing the advice, helping me to restructure, advising me on how to close the deal, looking at my agreements, looking at all my information, step by step. You were there with me, encouraging me, holding me accountable, holding my hand until I got the deal done.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. We stay on people. That's for sure. We probably stay on people until we become annoying. But like I said, we gotta hold you accountable, hold your feet to the fire, and keep you moving week in and week out. This is a constant grind.
That's a constant grind. Yes, it is.
Yeah, exactly. So what did you like specifically about the strategies that were outlaid in the course? A lot of people come into this and they try to reinvent the wheel. Obviously, the strategies that I teach have been tried, tested, they're true. So what specifically about those strategies did you like using?
I like the seller finance strategy that you taught us and how to present that information in an intelligent manner that would get the owner to sell. Because I knew I did not have the money. So I knew seller financing, that creative financing was going to be a big deal for me. So I like the way you taught it to us. I like the coaching that you provided us on the Thursday calls and how you helped me structure the deals so that it would work and present it and so that it would be appealing. So
Yeah.
that creative financial option, because I'm looking at that for some of everything now. Apartment buildings, RV parks, mobile homes, it don't matter. Houses, because it's a very powerful tool and it's very advantageous for both parties.
Sure is.
And
Absolutely.
I did not understand until I got your course.
What was that?
I said it was something that I did not clearly understand until I got your course.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, creative finance is king. I mean, it is a no-brainer from both sides, seller and buyer.
It is. It is. And my seller saw that, and that's how we made the deal happen.
Yeah. Now, I was looking back today. Our first Zoom call together was towards the end of July of
Mm-hmm.
2024. And on
Well,
November 15th, Joan had closed on that laundromat. Now, I believe
mm-hmm.
she had a lead in that time where it was kind of close to closing. It was going towards that direction, but something happened there, and I think that was within actually 30 days. And it
Uh-huh. That was a car wash.
as a car wash, something
Mm-hmm.
went awry there. She didn't get discouraged. She kept going, and in 4 months, less than 4 months, had the keys to her laundromat.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
So didn't give up, didn't waver there. And anyways, what had happened with that car wash? I can't remember. Why was it fell through?
He wanted more than what our deal calculator was saying that would work. So he
Okay,
didn't want a long-term finance. He wanted a lot more than what I honestly thought the return would be. And so the numbers just didn't add up.
gotcha. Okay. It all came down to the numbers. So what now has having this laundromat, how has it changed your life? I know you told us you took in $1,500 in your first 2 days alone. So how
Yes,
has
it
this
did.
changed your life?
Well, it's helped. It's provided a big change to the extra revenue and the extra revenue income stream, taking profits from it every quarter. Seeing it really build, and then within the next few years, sell it.
Yep, absolutely. Great game plan. Got an exit strategy and everything.
Absolutely.
So that's wonderful. So how many no's do you estimate you got before you got this yes that led you to your first laundromat?
Probably about a dozen or more.
Okay. So is it safe to say maybe you got 12 to 20 no's before
Yeah.
this 12 to 20?
Yep.
That's awesome results right there. About presenting creative finance to the seller, did you have to inform the seller about seller creative finance and what that was, or show them how it worked, or how did that conversation go?
I did. I had to now one of them was already familiar. Well, they were familiar with it, but I had to show them how the creative financing would benefit them. Yeah, that was so we did have an educational talk with them. But the main thing was, even with the gentleman that had the car wash, it was building a rapport with people. The gentleman that owned the laundromat now, if I need help, he's right there helping me. We've developed a friendship there. So it's about building a rapport, having integrity, um, showing up and doing what you say you're going to do, being that person that you show their integrity, that they can trust with their business, that they're trusted that you're going to pay them on time, having a good open line of communication that's clear and that's honest and coming from a good place. People can see shading that's coming a mile away, and it's a turnoff on both sides. So, it's a win-win. We work together. He's all about helping me do what I need to do, educating me on what I need to learn. Because I don't know how to put a belt on a dryer. I don't know how to unstop a washing machine. I don't. And I still don't know. But I got people that are learning,
There
and
you go.
he's the key helper. So, I'm learning every day how to do it.
That's all you need. Networking, building rapport is very important in business and really in life. But if you'll think back to a couple of those first videos in the course, I talk about how important building rapport is with these
Yes,
sellers, just
indeed.
like Joan stated, and relationships, being transparent.
Yep.
If you walk into a meeting and they ask you a question you don't know, instead of making something up off the top of your head, just be like, hey, I don't really know the answer to that. However, I do have a mentor, me, who can is helping me along with the process. And come back and ask me your question, and I'm able to answer it for you. You can get the question, you can relay that answer to the seller, and do it
Right.
that way instead of pretending you own 4 or 5 laundromats. Just say, hey, this is
Right.
my first time. This is my first go
Right.
around, my first business,
Right.
but I've got mentors who know the business, know how to handle stuff, and they're helping me out. That is better
Right.
than lying any time.
Any day. Yeah.
Exactly. Whenever you did the seller finance deal, did
Mhm.
anybody ask to see your credit, your tax returns, your income from a job, any of that?
No. And I actually asked for some of that stuff from the seller and he gave it to me. 10 months bank statements. He was going to give me 2 years tax returns, but I wound up not needing them. So no, nobody asked me anything.
Set up very beautifully.
And things, and then too, I'm a person that believes in, Christ and divine favor. So when I met the owner of the strip mall, we just instantly made a connection. The man just let me assume the lease. Didn't ask for a deposit, didn't ask for anything up front, didn't check my credit. He says, I got a good feeling about you. We're gonna go ahead and move forward. And so, I got the finance in the same way. We like what you're doing. We think you qualify. We're gonna go, and then they gave me 90 days free finance, deferred the payments for 90 days, free financing. Um, so everything has just been falling into place. They're gonna come in and install them. It's all included in the price. Um, everything is. I'm working with the community grassroots to help with some of the distressed families that are up there, to provide laundry services, trying to provide clothes, trying to do a fundraiser, putting our boots on the ground, grassroots, to make ourselves known. We've got an interview pending with the local newspaper. So, we're just getting ourselves out there to really make a difference, because it's about also making a difference in the lives of people.
Absolutely. And that laundromat has turned out to be a huge blessing for you, and it sounds like you're really blessing the community with it as well. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's great. So, if you feel comfortable sharing some numbers, if you don't, it's fine. But if you feel comfortable, could you give us like a rough estimate of maybe the income you took in your first month of being in business with your laundromat?
About $17,000.
$17,000 in 1 month.
Yep.
That's amazing. So $17,000 in your first month. That's good.
Mhm.
Really good. Speak on the to the skeptics out there who think that it's too good to be true, or that the program won't actually work for them because of their unique situation. Kind of speak on that. Speak to the skeptics there just for a second.
Well, I'm a witness. I'm a testimony to the fact that it does work. Um, it'll work if you want to work it. You have to have. This is all up to you. You have to be able to work the program. You have to be consistent. You have to apply. You have to be willing to put skin in the game. You have to be willing to get your hands dirty. If you're not willing to do that, it doesn't matter. You've got, this is all on you. I mean, you give us the materials, you give us the support. Heck, you give us the leads. I mean, you can't get better than that. So if you don't, a skeptic needs to understand, either you will do it or you won't, because the information and the tools and the proven method works. I'm a testimony to that fact, and that's just the bottom line.
Yeah, and I appreciate you saying that too, because like you said, I may be biased, but what other program out there not only gives you the information and the support to do it, but gives you leads? That cold calling list, there are hundreds of business on that cold calling list alone.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Which of the methods, the lead generation methods that I teach in the course, did you use? Did you use one specific one? Did you use all of them? And which one led to your laundromat?
No, I just called and just went by and saw different places. Um, it was just your leads that really led to it. And then I went and actually, I kind of drove around and looked at different places, because my initial focus was a car wash. Some of them led to actual meetings, some of them didn't. So just basically cold calling, talking to people, going through the numbers, finding out if someone was willing to sell. And a lot of them are. And then I looked at stuff like on LoopNet, Crexy, different things online.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very good. So the last question I have is there any last word of advice that you have for anybody? Any last thing you want to say before we get off of here?
This is a fantastic organization, a fantastic program. It works. It does what it says. If you will do the work, it will work for you. But you got to do the work. You don't spend the type of money that you charge and then just be lazy and make up excuses and procrastinate. You have to put the work in to make the difference. It's on you. You give us the program, you give us the leads, good leads. You give us the coaching, you give us the formulas, everything that we need to be successful. We just have to put the work in.
Yeah. And can you vouch that that money you invested paid off for you?
Absolutely. And it's going to pay off even more.
Yeah, absolutely. So Joan invested in herself, learned the strategy, learned all these techniques, and has now got her first business and can take all that information that she's now learned, all those strategies that she's mastered, and get as many car washes and laundromats as she wants for the rest of her life.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
well, thank you so much, Joan. I appreciate it. I really appreciate you hopping on here.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime. Anytime at all.